Hey,
Hey, yo.
oh man. So, like we were saying before we start recording this, Joel, sometimes we usually record on Tuesdays.
hmm
Obviously, people are listening to this right now. This is not Tuesday. This we are recording on a Friday, which is great because that means we get to talk about some cool stuff that happened during the week.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
but of course, welcome back to the Now We Nerd podcast, where we talk about a lot of nerdy things
Oh, yeah.
because we are a bunch of nerds, as we
10,
do. Of
10.
course, I'm Brian. Along with me is Joel.
Hello, everyone. Happy
Joel,
Friday,
happy Friday.
or
Joel,
whatever day it is. Listening.
I see you wearing your Mando hat there,
Oh, hell yeah.
which is perfect
It's the
because we
way.
got we got a lot of Star Wars to talk about.
Hell yeah.
Um, so for those of you that don't like Star Wars, I apologize for this episode because it's going to be a very Star Wars heavy podcast.
hmm
But before we kind of jump into that, because I feel like that's going to just overtake everything in this podcast,
As it does.
we should probably talk about a little bit of other things that have been going on this week. So, Joel, why don't you kick us off? What have you been up to this week?
Well, I had the week off,
Oh
spring
yeah,
break, so I had one work day this week at public school. Yeah, just
the
pretty much
benefits of the school
relaxing.
system.
Oh, I know. That was nice. Just chilling, playing a lot of Destiny still. Been meaning to get back into Sea of Thieves. Haven't touched it yet. I know that I Sarah and I we watched Beef with Stephen Yun and Ali Wong. That show was quite a ride. If you are even remotely interested, watch it. It's on
So,
Netflix. It was whew, it was
so I've seen like little like poster ads about it, but like, what is beef?
literally they have beef with each other, and that's all
Oh,
I
is
could
that
say.
it?
It gets wild. You think it would?
It's just
It just takes a page from being ridiculous and goes even like far beyond what I thought it would. And the supporting cast, the writing, direction, everything, it was just really well done and
all
very
right.
entertaining. And goddamn, they're crazy. So it was quite a ride. If you want to see some people get mad and do some crazy shit and lie, oh man, Beef is for you. Check it out. Of course, watched this week's Succession. It's the final season. There was a big it's a big episode. That's all I will say. In case you're watching it and you're listening, and I don't want to say anymore. That show is a Shakespearean tragedy in itself. As far as rich people could go, it's like watching them fail is pretty crazy. But how they do it is just wow. It's like you don't want anyone to win, but you want to see them lose. But it's still tragic. It's crazy.
It just goes to show that in the society we do appreciate just seeing a bunch of rich people tear them tear their families apart from the inside.
Yeah. And then Sarah and I finished Uncharted 4. So I have to give that back to you,
Oh,
Brian.
hey. Okay.
What a great ride these games have been. We still need to play Lost Legacy. We're just gonna go ahead and play it when we get to it.
Nice.
Again, just super fun. If you haven't checked them out, you ever have the chance to check them out. Super cool. Yeah, just really fun ride. And I think 4 is definitely a love letter to the first 3 for sure.
Okay.
And it was just a lot of fun. Of course,
So,
Mando was this week. Oh my god, this episode of Mando. Whoa. These people are complaining about filler. Well, this episode had more than enough to chew on forever.
oh my
I
god.
think. God, it was woo. There was a lot of information, a lot of story beats, big event. That's all I could say, really. Not spoiling it because I'm sure we'll do a retroactive review of um Mandalorian. So it was I'm glad I saw it the day of too. I'm glad I had the day off because
Bruh.
goddamn, the spoilers were wild. I was like, this is really not
So
cool for people who are working right now. I got lucky that
so
wasn't working, but
I
goddamn.
I want to talk about this for a second. What happened? Like we were doing so good about not spoiling things, and then literally in the last like I want to say like three or so episodes of Mandalorian, like people just started like just posting up so many spoilers, like, without even any warning whatsoever.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, come on, man. We've been through this so many times. You don't need to like at least put like a spoiler tag or something. Like we have spoiler filters on social media now.
Oh, you need
We
those
could
clicks
use
and that
them.
clout. They need it. They need it. It's just
Uh,
ridiculous.
Not everybody could stay up until midnight to watch Mando.
Yeah, or yeah, I usually see it like the day of when I get home, and it's late usually. So,
Yeah.
oh man, but I'm glad I saw the episode. But what an episode! We'll talk about it later. And then the Marvels trailer, right? I finally saw that. That was
Yeah.
looks like a lot of fun, and it looks kind of. So what I saw was someone's tweet was saying looks more like a movie that's there to be a movie, not like a Marvel movie continuing a story. It just looks like it's fun, you know. And I kind of agree. I mean, of course, I'm gonna watch it because it is continuing the story, but I'm excited to see all these characters they showed interact and
Hmm.
see where the story goes. It's exciting.
So it's intriguing to me because it's I don't know. This is what I'm just kind of gleaming from the trailer, but it seems like if the people, if I don't know if it's just if Kamala uses her powers or something, she like switch places
Oh,
with Captain Marvel. So it's kind of I want to kind of see like how that's gonna work because it looks funny as fuck. Like I can
mm,
already tell it's gonna be a fun time.
lot of antics.
Like we knew we had fun with Miss Marvel, and I feel
Yeah.
like it's just like that with a bigger budget.
Mhm.
Do you know if it's the same director or is it a different director?
That's a good question. Let's look it up. Yeah, but I'm super excited. All these things, coming out, of course, and of course, all the big news we got. You know, for Star. Sorry, I'm like looking at for Star Wars.
Yeah,
I'm excited to really talk about that.
we're gonna deep dive into that shit.
Um, I think it says there was three different directors for the first one. This is what this lists here.
Oh,
No, so it is a different director for um part two. It says
okay.
it lists three on the side here when I just type in Google. Nia DaCosta for sure is doing number two, and it says um, Anna Boden, Ryan Fleck for the first one.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed Captain Marvel, the first one. People really didn't like it. There's still people mad about it, just like Star Wars. People are still mad about Last Jedi. Still post and still want to fire Kathleen Kennedy every day. Someone really wants to fire Kathleen Kennedy. But yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes, and maybe, perhaps, like we said last time, if you are upset by the movie, maybe you don't need to watch it. Perhaps. Just little, bit of advice. You don't need to put your energy to it. Anyway, that was my week. So I mean, pretty much. I'm sure I'm forgetting something as per usual. What about you, Brian? I know you saw a certain movie this week.
So Joel, I did something that I've never done before. I went to see a movie by myself. It was an interesting experience. I went to the new theater over by the mall over here. It's very nice.
The
Um
one in Hillsdale.
yeah, the
Oh, nice.
Sinopolis. It's really
I've been there
nice. Um but yeah, I got to see John Wick Chapter 4. And boy, was I glad I watched it cuz I like like when you're looking at movie times and you start seeing like the pattern of this movie's on its way out where it's like
Yeah.
you get like 4 showings a day. That's what was happening. So I was like, all right, I need to watch this movie. And yeah, it was a real fun ride. Um I, I feel like I love the John Wick movies. They've been super fun. But I feel like Chapter 4 it was really like a hey, if we're gonna not be doing John Wick movies for a while, like we need to go out with a bang kind of thing. And I feel like they hit the mark so well. The action was great. It was it was actually really like varied up compared to the other John Wick movies, I
Mm-hmm.
think. Just like with just like the amount of like uh set pieces they put in what's his name? Um Danny is that his name? Fuck.
Donnie Yen.
Donnie Yen, thank you. But yeah, Donnie Yen
Danny
was
Yen. That's the one.
fantastic. He was
Amazing.
so fucking cool in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I won't go into too many spoilers in case like some people still haven't seen it yet, but like if you think like, oh, like, a super assassin who's blind, it's like you can already imagine that he's gonna be really cool, but like I don't know, Donnie Yen just like somehow makes it even fucking cooler just because
Mm-hmm.
like he has this kind of like attitude about him where he's just kind of like it's like come on, man. It's like don't make this hard. Come on. And like
They made him very
he
creative too,
was
how
very
he gets
creative,
around it. Oh yeah,
dude.
it was really cool.
Which I really appreciate because I think the reason why I like the John Wick movies so much is because compared to other action movies, I feel like they are like some of the more realistic action movies. Like there's things that they have like Keanu Reeves and like other people do in the movie, like just feel very, very like down to earth. Because we've seen action movies, everybody's, doing all these like fucking impossible feats and like, the gunplay and whatnot. But like, I don't know. I can't think of any other like series that, you know, oh, the actor actually has to like worry about like, you know, ammunition and having to like reload all the time.
Mhm,
And so John Wick will just be like fighting a bunch of dudes, and while he's in cover, like he's like looking at his magazines and like
mhm,
reloading, or if he runs out of ammo, he like tries to pick up other weapons, or he'll literally just take the gun apart and use it as a weapon and shit
mhm.
like that. And like he's done that in the whole series, but it's something I just really appreciate. But with Donnie Yen, like working around the fact that his character is blind and the things he does is really like cool and interesting.
Yep.
Of course, it was really cool to see Lance Reddick
Mhm.
again. Um, what I thought was gonna be the last time, but I looked up because there is the spin-off movie coming out next year,
And a
Ballerina.
spin-off series. I've seen ads for it too. I sent it to you guys on TikTok.
So
Just
apparently,
surprised. Such a spin-off series too.
they already filmed the spin-off movie, and he is gonna be in it. So,
Nice.
oh, I think it was like Ballerina.
Yeah, I think it's called Ballerina.
Is actually gonna be his last movie he appears in.
Wild.
So that'll be cool. But yeah, it was cool to see him for the time that he was in it. Of course, everybody in the movie's great. Had a really fun time.
Mhm.
Um, we did see the Super Mario movie,
Oh,
which
we
was
did. That's what I
a
forgot.
fucking blast. But boy, after seeing the Super Mario Brothers movie first, and then seeing John Wick, maybe kind of appreciate how the Super Mario movie was only an hour and a half.
Oh yeah.
Because don't get me wrong, John Wick Chapter 4, I enjoyed the whole thing, but I could feel like, oh yeah, this is like almost 3 hours long.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I actually had to go up to go to the bathroom during John Wick, but I chose like the perfect moment to where I'd come back and I missed nothing.
Nice.
Like I think that's another thing why I like John Wick is because like the plots for the movies are never so like in depth and like super like extravagant, but it's the characters in the movie that kind of do that work for you or do
Mhm.
that work for the plot. So it's like I don't have to understand like the intricacies of why like John Wick would be trying to fight to get his car back and like because like they killed his dog where it's like
It's pretty straightforward.
pretty
It's
straightforward.
yeah, it's a revenge movie through and through.
But it's all
There's
about
four of
it's all about the
them.
characters in the moment. So
Yeah, oh, yeah.
but yeah, that was fun. But yeah, the Super Mario Brothers movie was real cool. It had a I know we all went to see that together as like a group. And that
Mhm.
like what do I say? It's probably like the first like DreamWorks movie in like a very long time that I actually enjoyed.
That's fair.
I don't know. It's just like for the like in the most recent years, like with the like Illumination and like the DreamWorks like animated movies haven't been really hits for me. I mean, I still haven't seen Puss in Boots yet. I heard
Yeah, Last Wish
that was really
was
good.
pretty good. It was pretty good.
So I'll probably
A
like that.
peacock. Getting a
But
phone call. Oh, hold on. Sorry. It's okay. I can let it go. Go away, phone.
oh,
It's okay.
it's DreamWorks calling. It's like, what do you say?
You need to push Puss in Boots more. Last Wish needs to go in. Put those ratings up.
But yeah, Super Mario Brothers movie was real fun. It didn't overstay its welcome. Its plot is simple. It is a kids
Oh
movie
yeah.
to be completely fair. So I'm not judging it harshly on like the fast pace plot that it had, but just because like the animation was really good, the characters were really fun, the world was really
Hmm.
interesting, of course, because it's Mario, so it's re-
Visually,
it's
it's
visually.
really strong.
Yeah.
I know Marcel didn't see it with us, but when you do see it, Marcelo or whoever, if you haven't seen it, like visually, I was blown away. It just
It was
really well.
clean.
Yeah, and the cast did really well. I honestly think Donkey Kong could have been someone else, but he did his job. That's just me personally.
So I'll say
But
I'll
yeah,
say this. I'll say this. It's like they could have done Donkey Kong a little differently, as in just not being like just Seth Rogen. But
it
their dynamic between him and Mario actually worked.
did.
It was very
It did.
believable and it was actually very fun. So I'll give him credit. And also, Chris Pratt.
Did better than I
He's
thought.
fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It wasn't amazing. They had the original Mario say "It's a me, Mario" like 5 times, so can't complain there. They got it in there. He said it. He's in there.
So yeah, it. I feel like people were judging it way too. It was like judging it before you see it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, was it like the Mario that we know of? So that's a thing. I don't know if that was retroactively done or not, but I did not hear that line in that movie.
They must have taken
The
it
Mushroom
out.
Kingdom, here we come. I did not hear it once.
Or we were just so in awe, we just passed over it.
We had selective hearing.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
will say what one of our friends, Lisa, who's been on the show, we've done some episodes with her. She said not enough Luigi, and I can agree. I mean, it was the Mario movie, some would say,
well,
but
it's a Mario Brothers movie.
yeah, we could have used a little more
But I mean,
Luigi. I'm in agreement with
like the
that.
plot was he was saving Luigi, so
Exactly.
I'm sure in the sequel we'll get a lot more Luigi.
Oh, we get a haunted mansion probably. But yeah, Bowser, 100%
Jack Black
amazing.
fucking stole the show.
He was. It's like we want more Bowser. That's it.
That music video has been taking the internet
I
by
know.
storm.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a good watch.
It was a very good watch. I enjoyed it. Definitely recommend. If you can see it in theaters, go see it. It's
Mm-hmm.
very fun.
Yep.
Um, what else? Um, we talked about this before we went live. But yeah, I've come to the realization that I am indeed getting old. My 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 body is failing me. But also because today I had to actually take a trip down to the DMV
Oh, ew.
because I had to get renew my license. But
Fun.
it's because I was told I had to go in
Oh
because I
yeah, me
thought about it.
too.
I thought about it, and it's like, oh, it's been 14 years since I've gotten my license. I look nothing like I do in my picture anymore.
That's what happened for mine. I think it was 13. No, it was 14 years too. You had to
Yeah.
go in. You couldn't renew online anymore, right? Is that why? I
They
was like, it's
sent
not
me
letting you.
no, they legit sent me a letter saying you have to come in. It's like, oh,
Oh, damn.
but yeah. So I went there. For anybody that's like, I don't know how DMVs work in other states, but like in California, bruh, if you can get an appointment for the DMV, do it.
Oh yeah, do the
Cause
appointment.
I was like worried, like I'm gonna be having stay there forever. You know, it's gonna like take up my whole Friday. I don't know if I would have been able to make it to the podcast in time. Well, probably because they probably close at 5.
Yeah.
But I literally got there and they had two separate lines, one for non-appointments, one for appointments. The appointment line was empty. So I literally went in and
One did you go to? Did you go to the one by me?
yeah,
Nice. That's the one I went to too.
it was like right there, you know. But yeah, I did that, got my picture taken. So when I get that, I'll probably look at it and be like, yep, I have definitely gotten older. Oh, Ben in the chat. Washington
Benjamin.
Washington split licensing and registration into two separate buildings. Oh, that's interesting. Like they actually have like legit two like do separate buildings. Huh,
Interesting.
bruh.
Interesting.
I will say though, when I went into the one down here, it was like I was walking into the fucking 90s.
Yeah. They haven't
Everything
updated at
like
all.
everything except for like the TV screens that like showed your number.
Hmm.
Like it was it looked like a like a digi like 90s like office building.
Yep.
It was wild. But
They have
yeah.
not updated.
But yeah, I did the thing so I can continue driving in our state. And I feel old now. But but that's okay cuz what was I going to say? Um I recently wow.
That kind of day, huh? It's that
It's
Friday.
that kind of day. Like I didn't like the last time I was in a DMV, I was it was when I got my license, right? So like it was a long time ago. And I don't know, it's like walking in there, like I kind of like lost track of time. I was only in there for like maybe an hour and a half at most.
Mhm.
But I like walked out of there and I was just like, why do I feel so drained? I feel so devoid of life. And
It's an energy vampire.
that's probably how the people that work there feel.
Yeah, right. Nice though, at least.
But no. So I know we talked about it before. Um, but I pre-ordered that new Xbox controller,
Oh yeah.
and it was supposed to come out today, right?
Mhm.
And so I get a package when I get home, right? And I take it in, I open up the box, and then I open the box, and all I find is this.
Oh no.
So
Oh no.
to my confusion, I check my emails and whatnot, and apparently the controller um is being its release date got pushed back to the 18th.
Oh. Somebody
So
took it.
no, I was like, did something fucking go wrong? So I was gonna like do like a I was gonna show it off for the podcast, like see it in real time, but yeah, you're gonna have to wait until next week.
Yeah, new controller next week.
um, but there has been some fun, interesting stuff happening in Fortnite that I would like to talk about real quick.
Uninteresting?
No, interesting, very interesting.
Maybe I misheard you.
When the new season came out, they showed off, they had Aaron Yeager from Attack on Titan
Hmm?
in the Battle Pass and stuff like that, and they showed off the movement gear from Attack on Titan. Well, that stuff came out this week, and boy, is it wild. So, for those of you that play Fortnite, you'll understand this, but for those of you who don't, a few seasons ago, they had Spider-Man in the in Fortnite. And so
Waterman.
they had his web shooters. They can web swing around the map, and it's really fun and really cool. So the movement gear from Attack on Titan does kind of the same thing, except you can control both grappling hooks separately. And so you can like move around and like do your stuff. And you can do the like sword attacks that they do in the anime.
That's
So like
cool.
you can like swing up, like do some movements, and then just like fucking come in spinning like a fucking Beyblade, attacking people. It's really neat. Um, I can see why though. Um, they got rid of the hammers because that was the thing. Like they got rid of the hammers. They added in the katanas, which have been pretty balanced for the most part.
Mhm.
But I can only imagine if they kept the hammers in and they had the katanas plus those, like everybody would just be flipping and dipping all over the place and not shooting each other and just like
Mhm.
smashing everything in their path. I personally would love it, but I understand that people
On the
kind
day.
of got annoyed by the hammers when they were out last season. But yeah, just a little fun update with Fortnite. They did, I believe they did announce that they were going to be doing a Coachella thing.
Oh damn.
So they're good.
Travis Scott Part 2.
So they're gonna do like a Coachella like creative mode feature.
That's
I don't
cool.
I don't know if it's out now, but they announced that, so I was like, oh, okay. I was talking to a friend of mine and I was like, all right, Fortniters, get ready to drop some LSD and we're gonna drop from the battle bus.
Oh god.
Let's go. You drop in, just like colors start just smearing all over the screen. Ah! But yeah,
Um, you
that was
reminded me.
um,
Oh, are you done? Sorry,
no,
my
go
bad.
for it, go for it.
We didn't talk about it last time, but there's a new Overwatch character on the horizon called Lifeweaver. I
Oh,
believe that's what
oh.
they're called, right?
So I
Um,
played him the other day.
oh, nice.
I
I
played
just
with
wanted to bring
Fernando.
that up. Oh,
So I'm gonna give you my report. Um,
hell yeah. Let's see. Because I'm
so,
not going to play him.
so I haven't had too much battle experience with him, but I did mess around with him a little bit. Lifeweaver is interesting. He is definitely far beyond like the most different like support character for Overwatch has had for
Mhm.
sure. Um, what's interesting is that his healing is like a charge based healing.
Interesting.
So think of like how Mercy has like the healing and attack and you like flip between both.
Yeah, yeah.
He has kind of like that. But his healing is that you hold down the button and he charges like a it's kind of like a fucking flower petal
Yeah.
kind of or like a flower bud that kind of like
Mhm.
appears in his hand. And you can charge it up to like 65 points of healing, which is
It's
interesting
a lot.
because it actually has a meter like on the reticle, so it shows you like how much you'll be healing your ally. And
Right?
so you could like hold it, charge it for like the 65 and then throw it. And it's kind of like a light lock like throw and like travel to like your ally. Or you can just like spam a bunch of tens. You can just like keep throwing tens. I think there's like a 15 like ammo thing before you have to kind of like reload kind of thing.
Right. That's not too bad.
Not too bad. Um I don't know if this is going to be like this forever, but his attack does a decent amount of damage. Like anybody that has like 200
Mm,
HP can get knocked out pretty good by Life Weaver, which is, I mean, for me that was great because I feel like with Kiriko, unless if you get headshots, it's kind of like a hit or miss. I know Mercy, I think got a buff a while ago. I don't know. I'm not too up to date with like who gets buffs and nerfs a lot. Um,
mm,
they did buff Brigitte a little bit, at least with
mm.
her shield. Could it expands out more. But Lifeweaver, um, I feel like if it wasn't for the fact that his healing percentage is locked at a maximum of 65 for a single person,
Mm.
um, he could be like a very dominant like support character. If not that, for it would be for his pullback move because he has that pullback
Yeah,
move where like
yeah.
he can
Recalls them, right?
he can recall an ally like
Crazy.
and it goes far. It's pretty much almost kind of like the same rules as Roadhog's hook, where as long as they're in line of sight and they're not like super far away, you can like grab them and pull them in, and
Interesting.
it creates like a small invulnerability buff around them while you're pulling them towards
Yeah,
you.
interesting.
That one has been very, very like useful in play. I think maybe his one like ant ability is that he has a healing dash. Where it's like he just kind of dashes out of the way and then he heals himself for like a percentage. Um
Interesting.
it's not the best because his dodge doesn't go that far. Like the
Ah,
closest thing you can compare to is Moira's like dash move,
mm.
and like he like barely moves compared to her.
She moves a lot, but she doesn't heal though.
She doesn't heal, but she does disappear,
Mm.
which is I think better. So for him
Yeah,
that move's kind of like like you could use it to like get like a little bit of healing on yourself, but you're
yeah,
not going to be running away with it. Like you can't really run away from that kind of thing. His platforms are great. His platforms are
yeah,
really
yeah.
fun. It has created an interesting new dynamic for the game because it's pretty much you just he throw downs the platform, and the first thing that steps on it activates its lift. So like your allies, or your enemies could like use it. So you could like it's very versatile. You can either use it like offensively or defensively in any situation. Um,
Reminds me of Octane a little in your
a little
description.
bit. It's kind of like that a little bit. And of course it does have like a has like a health bar, so you can like destroy it while it's in midair. Um, and then he has his healing tree, or his ult. He just throws down like a big tree, and it becomes like an obstacle that people can't shoot through. And
Moment of life.
it does like a anybody that's within line of sight of it, and it's close and it's in its area of effect. There's like a healing pulse that just heals your allies. Found out, even if you're like right next to it, if you're behind a wall, it doesn't work. So
Makes sense.
you won't get healed if you can't see it.
Line of sight for the tree. Got
Yeah.
it.
But in a training mode, I found out a fun thing that is possible you could do. So if you really want to, I don't know if there's going to be any situation in the game where it's needed, but Lifeweaver can throw down his platform, and then you can perfectly line up the tree on top of it, and then all you have to do is kind of like step on it real quick, and then it lifts the tree up into the sky.
That's funny.
So I don't know. We haven't really tested it out yet to see if you can still get healed by it if it's up in the air.
Mhm.
but um, I don't know. Do with it what you will. See if you could do some fun tricks with them. But
Free
yeah,
heals.
but yeah. Life Weaver so far seems really cool. Um, Again, I'll have to try to play more with him. But yeah, Life Weaver's pretty cool. Let's see.
Oh, you did the new Ron raid. You could talk about that. We
Oh,
did
that's
that.
right. We did the new
Ron
Destiny
meaning
raid.
root of nightmares.
So yeah, that was a fun experience. Like you said, it was my first time going through the new Destiny 2 raid for Lightfall. Um yeah, the I mean, I was doing like the minimum amount of work. I was just ad clearing for the most part. So I feel like
Yeah, clearing is important.
my job was pretty easy. The the encounters were pretty fun and interesting. I told you this when we were actually doing it, but my only gripe with it was the one where you had to run along a path and you had
Yeah.
to keep swapping out between light and dark
Yeah, yeah.
unless like this fucking pulse of energy like wipes you out.
Mhm.
That one was pretty annoying. I didn't really care for that part too much, but that was just like a small thing throughout the entire actual raid.
Yeah.
What was the one boss? It was like the second to last boss.
Oh, the Incendior guy with the backpack.
Yeah.
Gara guy. I don't even remember his name. Valis Blastpack or some shit like that.
He was a lot harder than the actual last boss of the mission of the raid.
Yeah. Third encounters, the last two raids have been the hardest things.
It's so weird. I don't know why. I mean, I'm not complaining because you know it just made finishing the raid that much easier. But I
Yeah, Nezarek is by comparison not challenging.
and we were just kind of casually going through it too. Like, yeah, we
Yeah,
I think we had like a restart at least like maybe twice, but that was just because we were getting caught up in trying to find ammo for the most part.
yeah.
Like we were running out of ammo, but like fighting Nizarak wasn't actually like that difficult.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I had fun. I like compared to everybody else in our clan, like I am like the least like raid like like what's the word?
Savvy.
Not like raid savvy, but I'm not like driven to do the raids as often as like you guys are.
Yeah.
So it's always fun to kind of just go in and then you guys already know what to do and I can just kind of like work off of you guys
Yeah.
and just experience
That's a
it.
good attitude to have. Or you're like me doing, killing Oryx 46 times to get Touch of Malice, and then you're like, I have it. I'm here.
See, that's
You
the thing.
know?
If it's like a weapon that you have to like do this big long activity for, I'm kind of like more like I'm often like not persuaded to do it that way. Like if
Yeah,
it's like an exotic quest or something, I'd rather do that just because it's something that I can kind of like I know I'm going to get it by the end of
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Where it's like fuck your luck going through raids like
Oh, I have bad RNG.
dozens and dozens of times and not getting the one
Minimum.
item.
But I will say I got Anarchy within 6 tries, so I think that was the last time that'll ever happen. So
I
that
forgot
was
how many
nice.
times it took me to get Anarchy.
I love that raid. Scourge of the Past. Oh, it was just fun. I didn't like it at first, but after the first couple times, like, oh, this is fun.
Yeah, Destiny 2 raids have like actually have a for the most part a good track record except for maybe for Garden.
Oh, Garden is. Whew, that's not your fault though.
No, it's not. But we we can't even do Garden anymore, can we?
You can.
Oh, you
You
can?
can still get Div. You can still get it. It's probably easier with Stasis and Strand now, but
You know what?
probably still just
Probably.
as buggy. It's probably just as buggy.
I forgot which I did get Winterbite though.
Hell yeah.
That's been really fun. I've been using that a lot. And You weren't kidding. That shit wipes people out like in two
Yeah,
shots. It's
man.
great.
Bug to do extra damage. So until they fix it, might as well
Wait,
use it.
is it still bugged? I thought they patched it.
No, it's just it does more damage than they say it does. So like we did it on Nezarec, it does a shit ton of damage, but it doesn't display it correctly. So
Oh, okay.
we did a winter bite run.
Okay, okay, okay. All right. Um, but yeah, other than that, I'm just kind of waiting because, we're getting close. Jedi Survivor is in just a few more weeks.
Week
That's coming out.
week for Survivor.
Um, oh, there was that last trailer for Tears of the Kingdom though.
Oh yeah, with big boy Ganon. I saw Ganon was
Bruh.
unveiled.
Oh, Ganondorf looks so cool. And the game just looks really good. Like that trailer did the game really well. Um, oh, I guess some news from that. Since the trailer finally revealed Ganondorf coming back, uh Matthew Mercer got to actually officially confirm that he is
Oh yeah.
voicing Ganondorf.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, anybody that knows his voice acting like could tell right away. But like now we have like official confirmation
Yeah.
that that Matthew Mercer is Ganondorf, and now Ganondorf is probably gonna be like one of my favorite characters in this game.
High noon.
All right, Link, are you ready for a hand? Link just like Link just makes like this fucking giant throwing axe. It's like, bruh. Like a few episodes ago, we played the one trailer that they showed off of gameplay,
Mm-hmm.
and after watching this last trailer, like it has like confirmed it even more that I'm just gonna get so lost in like the creation that this game is gonna
Oh
allow us to
yeah,
do,
yeah.
trying to find every possible thing that you can kind of fuse to, because this trailer also showed off that you can indeed fuse a shield with a sword and have a sword shield. So it's like
Oh, yeah.
if you can mix weapon items, if you can mix like equipment like that together, like fuck, first day I'm gonna see if I can fuse a sword with a bow and with an arrow, and have a sword
Probably
a sword arrow and just shoot fucking swords at enemies.
make some. I'm gonna make some dumb shit like an Apple car or some shit.
Oh, I can't wait. Oh, just get a bunch of apples together.
Yeah, it's it. It's it. I'm gonna do some dumb shit. Put a rock on a
Um,
shield on a sword. Some dumb shit like that.
something interesting they kind of hinted at. It looks like you're going to be able to have companions fight with
That's
you,
cool.
because they showed off the champions from Breath of the Wild coming back. But they're showing that they're fighting alongside Link, like in actual gameplay. So there might be some kind of like companion, uh, like feature. Because
Hyrule Warriors a little.
that's what actually kind of looked like. I was like, oh, that's kind of Hyrule Warriors ish. Um, because I know in like Breath of the Wild, if you had the Wolf Link amiibo, you were able to have like a Wolf Link with you
Yeah,
and
yeah,
kind of do it. So it was kind of like a little bit of like maybe like kind of like the beta version of what maybe this will be. Because I don't
yeah.
know, we don't know what extent like the companions going to be. If they're just kind of there doing their own thing, or if you're going to be able to kind of like work with them, or kind of like maybe not customize them, but kind of like give them like buffs or something like that along the way.
If I were
I
to
don't know.
guess, they're gonna help us for 30 seconds, and then they hightail it out of there.
Boost out of there.
Yeah, gotta wait 2 minutes to use them again or whatever.
Um, but yeah, Tears of the Kingdom comes out May 12th, and it just looks so
Less
fucking
than a
cool.
month
It looks
away.
so fucking cool. And like I know we've talked a lot about like, oh, the Switch is getting kind of old. Like when's the Switch Pro or Switch 2 coming
Oh,
out? And it's like, hey, if Nintendo can make games that still look this good on the Switch, they can like hold out as long as they want.
was this Pokemon? That last Pokemon. I think fucked the switch up, but everything else seems fine still. I don't know.
I don't know. It's really weird. Like game game companies, have different things going on, and I'm not gonna start to begin to understand like the ins and outs of like what happens in the studios, but like
Yeah,
you know they delayed Tears of the Kingdom once, and apparently it did them fucking well. So May
man.
12th, it's gonna be Zelda time. Uh,
Lamb, if it makes it great, that's all I gotta say. If it makes it great, delay it.
yeah, but Zelda time is later. Star Wars
Star
time is
Wars
now.
is now.
So
Now.
okay, so here's the meat of this podcast right here. So Star Wars Celebration came
The
and went,
meat. Wampa
and
meat.
we got a bunch of news coming out. And if you've been listening to this podcast for a while, you know that we love Star Wars. So Joel, where would you like to
Brian.
start? There's a lot of
Well,
news
let's
to
start with the
cover.
thing you texted me first thing in the morning that day.
Okay.
Let's just get into it. So for Star Wars Celebration, one of the big announcement drops was the Ahsoka trailer. They dropped more. Brian's like, "You guys gotta watch this right now." Texted us in the morning.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like, "All right, we're watching it," and it looks fucking dope. All right, it's you were saying Rebels Part 5, and your partner was saying Rebels Part 5, and I agree. That's what it looks like. But
It's
live
a
action looks
a
sick, and
Rebels
of
reunion.
course, if name dropped everyone's favorite blue man, Admiral Thrawn. Oh,
Oh no, Joel. They didn't just name drop him.
oh yeah, you're right.
You fucking saw the back of his head. He's
Oh yeah,
there.
he's there, and Admiral Thrawn, the Chiss Man, is
And
there.
and you know, ever since the trailer came out, everybody's been warning, okay, who the fuck is that? Who's playing Thrawn? And they held on to that information for a day. And when they had their Ahsoka panel on that Saturday, um, to my delight and joy, they officially announced that Lars Mikkelsen, the voice of Thrawn, is coming back to play live action Thrawn, and fucking I tried to hold back my excitement, but I couldn't hold it back enough. I was so fucking happy.
He was. Just seen that group chat we got.
Like Thrawn is such a cool character, and it's really awesome that we're actually able to get him in live action. Like
Yeah,
to be able to have him like in the animated, like in Rebels alone, was cool. And then he's
yeah.
gotten some books now, and he's become a more popular character. But now to have him be in live action, and I don't know if this was just like the foresight of like Dave Filoni to like make some of the characters kind of like look like they're actors a little bit, to the point where like they could just play them and it looks
Yeah.
perfectly fine. Um, but Lars Mikkelsen did a great job in Rebels. I'm sure he's gonna do a great job in Ahsoka.
And they had Katie Sackhoff come back as Bo-Katan live action. So that was great.
It's
So I'm
fantastic.
yeah.
Um,
And that trailer just looks sick. And then the orange lightsabers look very cool, I gotta say. And we got our favorite just death dealing droid, of course, live action too. Oh
oh
man,
yeah.
just everything about that trailer. It's like, woo, this is gonna be fun. It's gonna be good.
So, how did it feel for you? Because like when Rebels was around, we kind of watched it. We did watch it together for like the finale of the series.
Did
So I,
yeah.
I want to ask you, Joel, like how do you feel now that you're kind of getting to see some of these like Rebels places? Like we got to see Lothal in live action. We got
Hell
we
yeah.
got to see the rest of the Ghost crew in live action for this trailer. How do
Hmm.
you feel about it?
It's hype. It's really cool, and I didn't think Rebels would get any more than the show, and just it's Filoni, it's his baby. He's bringing his baby up. It's growing up. It's get to see it and a new It's same kind of media, but you know what I mean. It's really cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, didn't expect. I never thought we would get this, or at least not for another 20
Oh,
years.
no.
When I was way older, when they do the Rebels reboot or whatever, it's Star Wars 17 or whatever, you know. But we got it now.
We got it now.
What about you, Brian? You
Um,
feeling things? Were you feeling? For Thrawn, you were like gushing.
I'm I'm all in, dude. Like the just back in like Mando season 2 when we got like the little hints, when Ahsoka is like, "Where's Grand Admiral Thrawn?" You know,
Oh, that was hype.
like I've been like waiting for this moment for however many years it's been. Uh, I'm ready, dude. Like Rebels was great. It's so cool that we were getting to see like all these people return. Like Rosario Dawson's has been doing a great job as being Ahsoka.
Mhm.
We get to see Sabine, we get to see Hera, and of course Chopper's back too. And then we see a hologram of Ezra.
Yeah, that's it so
So
far.
we haven't seen actual like Ezra in full action. So I'm sure they're gonna be I'm sure they're saving it for the when the
Yeah.
show comes out. But yeah, Ahsoka comes out in August. They didn't put an
Oh,
official.
yeah.
I don't know if they put an official like date, but they did say August is when it's going to be
Right when
coming.
Secret Invasion's over, right into Ahsoka.
Oh god. Um
See,
so
man.
so do you think we'll get any reference to Kanan in this show?
I'm pretty sure we will. He even got Kanan in Rise of Skywalker, man. That was one of that was thought that
That's
was
true.
amazing to hear
That
his
is
voice.
true.
So if anything, we hopefully a ghost voices, maybe a flashback. They did a flashback in Bad Batch with him. I don't see why not. If Freddie Prince Jr. does it, that'd be kind of funny. If it was someone else, that'd be cool too. But I'm sure we'll get something. I'm sure. And if
Bro, that
not,
would be
there's
wild.
always another season, right?
Hey, that's the thing, because we assume there's going to be another season, maybe, but we don't know how many. I don't think we know how many episodes there are for Ahsoka
Right.
yet. I'm
Might
a,
be like Obi-Wan treatment, maybe just 6, and then if it's popular enough, they'll bring it back for
I
more.
don't know because
Maybe.
for Obi-Wan they specifically made sure that they said that it was like a limited series. Where for
True.
Ahsoka they're giving it more of like the Mando treatment. So I'm wondering if they maybe do 8 episodes.
Maybe.
I don't know, but
See.
yeah, Ahsoka, and I guess from there we can kind of like branch that off into Lucasfilm announcing that they have 3 movies coming down in the pipeline.
Right.
So during like the Lucasfilm panel, Kathleen Kennedy said that they have plans in the works for 3 different Star Wars movies. Let's see. So of course, they finally announced that Dave Filoni is finally getting his own movie, and
Time.
it's pretty much gonna be the wrap up to this whole story that they've been building on Disney Plus with,
Mm,
Mando and Boba Fett and Ahsoka that's coming. Um,
a little
and I
bit of Bad
and
Batch
I and
shit.
I and I
Just
guess Skeleton Crew as well. I think they said that Skeleton Crew also is gonna like wrap into this as well.
interesting.
I think. But yeah, so we're gonna be getting a Dave Filoni picture in the little distance. And what's interesting is that they showed off an official like new timeline for Star Wars,
Oh yeah, they did.
and they added 2 new eras to Star Wars. They've added the dawn of the Jedi. So
Hmm.
this timeline is pushed out far to the beginning, like before Old Republic, and that's where the next movie is going to be set. The movie that's being directed by James Mangold. And for those of you that don't know who that is, he is the director for the upcoming Indiana Jones movie.
Also directed the Wolverine too.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, that's right.
I think he
So
did Logan too.
this movie's gonna be solid. But what they what they explained is that James Mangold's movie is gonna be about the first Jedi, and it's gonna be in this new dawn of the Jedi era. So like we're gonna be seeing like the formation of the Jedi Order. I'm assuming.
Or
I
Sith.
want or Sith. Um, Joel, I wanted to get your opinion on this. What do you think about them going farther into the path, like farther than like Star Wars has ever been?
Cool. It's uncharted territory as far as I know. So I've actually been thinking about it a lot beforehand, like Pascal. It's like, when are we going to actually get that first like person using the Force, or I don't know, the midichlorian count is like off the chart or whatever, and or the first lightsaber, stuff like that, the first Jedi, first Sith. So it's cool. They're finally. I'm sure that's a question some people had. I mean, even with Mandalorian, the first season, it's like, what if there was another little green person other than Yaddle and Yoda, and we got Grogu? So they went even further, I think, with that kind of wonder. And it's like, what about the first whatever? Like, we're gonna see, but I think it's
'Cause-
cool. I mean, I think it'll be fun.
yeah,
I mean,
because I think they might have. I think like in like certain content, they might have hinted at some things, like saying like the first like lightsabers like had like energy packs to them, and they were like hooked up to like this cable because it was so primitive or something like that. So maybe we'll get stuff like that. Maybe see some really old tech, or imagine like seeing like them doing hyperspace travel for like the first time.
it'd be pretty hype.
Them
Space.
freaking the fuck out while they're
Yeah.
ripping through space.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I believe that movie is like very far into the future. I think they said.
Hmm.
But what I believe is the biggest news, bigger than Dave Filoni getting his own movie. Um, so Kathleen Kennedy also announced that the third movie that they are planning is going to be directed by Charmin O'Day Chenoy, who was the person who directed the Miss Marvel series on Disney Plus, and she is going to be filming the opposite end of the new sequence of the timeline. Uh, the new Jedi Order, which is
Hmm.
going to be the sequel to the sequel trilogy,
Hmm.
starring Daisy Ridley as Rey Skywalker 15 years after the rise of Skywalker. And it's going to be about Rey Skywalker trying to rebuild the Jedi Order. And
Hmm.
I can't tell you how the crowd, because I watched Star Wars Celebration all weekend, and the crowd reaction when Daisy Ridley walked on stage after that announcement, everybody started fucking flipping out, and like, everybody was fucking cheering and everything, and it's like, damn, you know, it's wild to me how what Rise of Skywalker came out 4 or 5 years ago now,
Yeah, 2019, I think, right before the pandemic, right?
and to this day there are still people like talking about like how the sequel trilogy ruined Star Wars, and like Ray
Fire
Skywalker is
Kathleen Kennedy! Fire!
and it's like the vitriol, like
Can't let go.
just fan reaction, and it's just like John Boyega already kind of like walked away from like the series. He was like, I'm just good. I'm just glad to be a fan again. You know, I'm good. I
On that
don't
note, we got to get some good redemption for John Boyega and damn it, why can't
Kelly
I?
Marie
Kelly
Tran.
Marie Tran. Yeah, Rose Tico and Finn. They deserve
So
better from that last movie. Just
so
saying.
the one
Hey,
thing
Ray will have a great movie, I'm sure. She deserved it too. Daisy really
oh
got
yeah.
a lot of heat too. All three of them. That was just not cool. The fans that did that, like, fuck off. Like, come on, don't be like that. Don't
Yeah.
harass the actors. Anyway, go with what you're saying. I just had to put that out there.
Like, no, like, yeah, like what you're saying, like, it's like it's understandable if you don't like the trilogy. That's fine. But like it still shocked me, like, because of course, like when they made that announcement, the arguments start to like boil up again, and there's like the people making like their TikTok videos and shit like that, saying like it's like I will never call her Ray Skywalker. She's always gonna be Ray Palpatine, or like Ray. It's like Ray ruined Anakin's chosen one prophecy. It's like shut the fuck
Oh,
up.
he did. Anakin ruined his chosen prophecy,
It's like
and so did the Emperor. But
shut the fuck up. Um, but yeah, the one thing I really love, like, this is why I hope like one day we like together can go to like Star Wars Celebration, because it looks like it's so much fun, and also just the energy that all of the fans there give like seems so
mhm,
genuine and like pure. Because last year's celebration, Kelly Marie Tran uh went on stage to like do like an interview and stuff, and everybody there was super fucking hyped to see her. And she was like saying like how much she appreciates like all the people that were like taught like telling her how much like they like roast Tico and stuff like that. And it's like that's so cool because like just like John Boyega, it's like you're kind of worried like, oh shit, is she gonna like like run away from Star Wars forever? Just kind of like how a lot of people in the prequels did. Like a lot of Hayden Christensen kind of like disappeared. Natalie Portman disappeared.
fan reception though. I watched that for Hayden Christensen. Like, oh man, just
Everybody
like the
fucking
love
loves
they had.
them.
Yeah, it's
Him and
so
Ewan
good.
McGregor, holy shit, people flip the fuck out when they get on
Yeah,
stage. It's
gotta say it
fantastic.
looked very jam packed though. Holy shit,
Oh,
those people are
London was
there
fucking
shoulder
packed
to
up.
shoulder. Oh, dude, I was like, ugh, I
And
don't know about
even
that.
even the people on stage like mentions like this is like more packed than it usually is. What the fuck? Um, but yeah, but then just to see like the fans there like and their like outcry of like love and support for like Daisy Ridley coming on stage to like
Mhm.
announce that like, hey, we're gonna do another movie. It's like I like Ray. I like Ray. I think Ray is a really cool character, and I'm just kind of glad that we get to kind of actually see more. And it's gonna be a whole new thing because it's like, what happens after like we beat Palpatine again, and the First Order's gone, and now Ray's in charge of like reforming the Jedi Order in the way she sees fit. And it's like, what does that mean? My only hope though is that Disney somehow, whether it's just by the way that they're doing Star Wars stuff now compared to before, where they're actually like planning shit and they're like actually like taking their time with it, or just give them a bunch of money. But I want to see Jedi fucking Finn. I want to see like 15 years in the future and like Finn is being trained to like learn how to use the Force and shit.
He needs that.
He needs that. Like, it was very
Yeah, man.
obvious that's where they were going with it. I even told you this, but like they had like a Lego holiday special that came out right after Rise of Skywalker, and they were showing like Finn being trained by Rey to like learn how to use the Force and shit. It's like, yeah, it's a Lego thing, but Lucasfilm still has to sign off on that shit. So it's like
But Ray's a Mary Sue. She doesn't know what she's doing. She was given everything. He doesn't know.
every main character is a Mary Sue in fucking Star Wars.
Dude, I would just love to see
Anybody with
like
the
Poe
Force
being
is a Mary
crushed
Sue.
by his X-wing, and then Finn just like lifts it up. I would just love to see that. But yeah, Skywalker's the ultimate Mary Sue. Literally gets handed everything and then does everything on luck. Like, and then people are mad. Like he's like, I'm not a legend. What do you mean? Come on, people, grow with your character. Yeah, I
Like,
want to see these sequel characters treated right. That's for sure.
and I can already imagine like somebody finds this podcast and like leaves a comment down below. Let me just get it straight. The sequel movies aren't the best. It's very like it was very flawed from conception. You can tell that they were really trying very hard to like bank on their recent acquisition of Lucasfilm, and they didn't take the proper time to like actually plan out the story. And of course, that was during the time where like Lucasfilm was just dropping directors left and right. But there's, I don't know, at least for me, there's still stuff in the sequel trilogy that was really interesting and really cool. And I'm glad that, you know, was like with stuff like The Mandalorian and now this new movie that's going to be coming out, they're going to be able to expand on that and do the thing like they did with the prequels. They had Clone Wars and they had, you know, uh they
Bad
had
Batch, Rogue
Bad
One,
Batch,
Solo,
Rebels, and stuff like that.
doing the
They're
same thing for
doing
the
this
sequels, padding
doing
them up.
doing the same thing. And like we love the prequels now. Well, I mean, our generation, we love the prequels because we were kids when we watched them, and we just like loved watching it, and that's what got us to keep continuing to love Star Wars.
I mean, I did shit on him, not gonna lie. I was like, this is dumb and stuff. And then, I came
I
around
mean,
too.
to this day, Attack of the Clones is still like the bottom of my list. It's like, yeah, I love the stuff with Obi-Wan and Django, but everything else is boring as fuck. Up until the battle of Geonosis, that's when like stuff gets actually interesting. And like Obi-Wan's little like PI investigation of Jango Fett, you know, that's the only other stuff that's like interesting.
Simple man trying to make my way in the galaxy.
I don't give a fuck about Anakin being a weird teenage creeper. I don't give a
And
fuck about
killing
that.
people, killing sand people. Fun.
But yeah, we just have to like, I don't know. Sometimes I kind of wish that like critical thinking was still a thing in like
They are critically
overall.
thinking. How raise a Mary Sue. They can't let go. Kathleen Kennedy has to be fired. I'm gonna keep saying it. You can always find some guy, fire Kathleen Kennedy. Every time. Nothing new either. Not even like I don't like what she did. Just straight up fire her. You know there's someone above Kathleen Kennedy, y'all. Anyway.
Well, not even that, but every new Star Wars thing that people actually like is still signed off by her.
Yeah.
But I mean, either way, like we could go on this conversation about like the toxicity of like
fandoms,
Star Wars and fandoms in general, but
yeah.
let's talk about more cool things that we like about Star Wars.
I was about to segue. So they announced, much to my dismay, but excitement, Bad Batch season 3 is the last season of Bad Batch. But I'm glad. I know we were getting another season for sure, but it's been a good 2 seasons so far. I think I've been really enjoying what they're doing, and the there's a little bit of crossover too with some of the other shows, so that's really cool. Of course, the Clone Wars, but it's about the future too. It's been really cool, and just getting one more season, and it's been great. And I'm sad to see it go, but also like I'm glad they're ending it like without dragging it out too. I like that like conscious decision.
Like they know where the end point is. Yeah. Like Bad Batch has been like you said, really fun, and the finale for this past season was like holy shit. It was definitely like the Empire Strikes Back of Bad Batch. You know, as far as where everybody is at this point. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I did notice that, like you said before, they were like hinting at things that look like are being brought up in like The Mandalorian. So I'm starting to see like the synergy that's going on as far as like the storytelling for like the Disney Plus shows are.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
I just have this feeling that in order for some things to happen that do happen, there's definitely going to be some people that aren't going to make it for sure.
Oh yeah.
It's like how else do we get, it for better for worse, the Rise of Skywalker without like some things following through for the first sort of emperor, right? It's like some of these things aren't going to go well, which I'm curious to see how they unveil it, or if at all, or they might not even touch it. They might just still do some shit, but
I
I'm just
mean,
very curious to see how they fill in more of the gaps.
there's a reason that you haven't seen these characters before
Mm-hmm.
in like later stuff. So who knows what that means?
Yep. Yep.
Um, to kind of go off of the animation thing, they also had a panel where they talked about season 2 of Star Wars Visions,
Oh, hell
the
yeah.
kind of animated collective of different studios that make little Star Wars shorts. And for this season, they're starting to go worldwide. So we're starting to see a lot of other studios from all over the world, which is really cool
Mm-hmm.
because Star Wars is worldwide. Um, I want to see if they mentioned any of the stuff.
Apparently, I missed it, but I just saw it right now. Dennis Lawson played Wedge Antilles is going to voice his character in season 2 of Visions. I think that's really cool. So it looks
Oh,
like with Visions before, we kind of were touching on stories that aren't connected, at least to the main Skywalker bullshit. But this one, I think maybe is more centered around that, which is also cool. But I hope they also still go far beyond that, like Outer Rim or wherever they are. I really enjoyed those stories. We know they're Star Wars, but they're also not like they don't have to be tied to what we know,
mm-hmm.
which I think is really cool.
So here I found the list of the animation studios that are participating in season 2 of Visions. So we have Ard Ardman, who, if you don't know, Ardman is the stop motion animation team that did Wallace and Gromit and Chicken Run and stuff like that.
Well, that'll be
So
fun.
we're getting like a stop motion Star Wars short, which is gonna be fucking sick. Uh,
Hello,
they they
Joppa.
they showed little clips of it at Star Wars Celebration. The little clips I saw of it looks real cool, and so I'm excited to see what that's going to be looking like. From there we also got Cartoon Saloon is going to be involved. A Spain animation studio. El Guri. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but El Guri is going to be involved. Um, 88 Pictures from India is going to be involved. Punk Robot from Chile is going to be there. And this one I'm kind of very intrigued by. Triggerfish. Um,
Mm,
for because I'm kind of familiar with Triggerfish, and they're really cool, like South African animation studio that does a lot of cool, neat things. And I think they kind of explain that they're going to be going with like a more like a South African like influence of Star Wars, which seems like
oh,
would be really kind of neat. Um,
I'm glad it's so worldwide. That's awesome. Different views and
yeah,
influences. It'll be dope.
and this one I think you and Sarah might be really excited about. I mean, me too. But Studio Mir, who is the South Korean studio that worked on Legend of Korra.
Oh, hype! Let's go. Fuck yeah.
And then to wrap it up, there's the last two is Studio. Oh, I'm gonna butcher this one. I am sorry. Studio La Chet Cachit. It's a French studio. I'm sorry. I can't pronounce French. I am sorry. But they are the studio that helped Tartakovsky's Primal.
Oh, dude.
So like
Primal was fucking sick.
some primal like Samurai Jack looking fucking Star Wars.
Dude. I still gotta watch the trailer for that new one. Oh fuck, that new show he's working on too. Damn it. I just remembered. I have to do that after this. season 3. Anyway,
And then
that's
and,
all exciting. Wow.
and then the last one is D'Art Shitagio, um, is an American-owned Japanese animation studio.
Hmm.
So
All sounds
we're
good.
gonna be getting a wide variety of animation studios for this season. And the last
Me
season's really
eating
cool.
good.
We eating good. And like the last first season was pretty good, all Japanese animation studios, but like we're gonna be starting to see a wider influence of Star Wars fandom, which is always welcome, of course. So that's gonna be cool. I'm actually really excited about the Primal Studio and the Legend of Korra one for sure.
Yeah.
That's gonna be sick.
Hype.
That's hype. Let's see.
Also, in regards to animation, Tales of the Jedi season 2.
Oh, that's right. They did announce it right there.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so cool. It was so like casually just announced too. It was at a panel, and Dave Filoni was like, "Yeah, so we were talking about it, and we found some funding for it, so we're gonna be doing more Tales of the Jedi." It's like, oh shit,
Yeah,
here.
yeah. It was so good. It was so good.
So since the last one was kind of focused a lot on Ahsoka and Dooku, which Jedi would you like to see in this new season?
Oh, hell yeah. Quinlan Voss, Kit Fisto, baby. I've been waiting to say that. Hell yeah.
Ooh,
Give me my Quinlan Voss. Give me Kit Fisto. Everyone else, I don't give a fuck. Kiadi Mooney, he's a piece of shit. That's all I care about. I
fuck.
don't want to see his ass.
Oh no. If we could get if we could get just some of the Dark Apprentice animated, that'd be so good. Fucking Quinlan Voss and Ventress like on like some on some adventure to assassinate Dooku. Oh, I would love that so much. Oh,
Yeah. Oh, man. Just, they did pretty good. They filled in gaps. Like, we got Yaddle in fucking Tales of the Jedi, and with a great story episode too. So I'm sure they'll pick and choose some Jedi like to weave into the story. And again,
what
I
if
really was blown away by Tales of the Jedi. So it's not what I expected. So
mm,
I can't wait to see what they bring forward. We'll probably get more Ahsoka. I do wonder, though, I forgot to say this earlier, we're talking about the show, with Tales of the Jedi and Ahsoka, if they're going to do more bullshit from Rebels she did. I say bullshit, but she literally, like, did some time traveling, and uh, it's, like, untouched territory. I'm wondering if they're going to touch it at all, or they're just going to, like, it was a one-time thing that'll break Star Wars,
maybe
which it kind of would.
it's
But
possible.
either way, it was a solid announcement for me, so I'm
You know
hyped.
what I
Or
would
would they
love?
go even farther back? Will we see the origins of the dark saber? Maybe. I'm gonna just keep bringing that up. I can't let it
Oh,
go. It's Tales of a Jedi, right?
well, we can get what's his name?
Speculate here.
What Vizsla was that? The Jedi Mandalorian. It was
I don't know. I
something
want to say
Vizsla.
Dari Vizsla, something like that.
That would be
One of the
cool.
Vizslas.
That would be cool. It would be very in the moment, that's for sure.
Or are we gonna get more of our boy Ahmed Best, his Jedi adventures? I would like
Oh,
that.
Kelvin
See
Beck.
what he's been up to. Yeah,
Oh.
see what he's been up to. When he before
Training
Grogu, after
training
Grogu.
younglings and shit like that.
Right? I just we'll get actually never mind. We'll talk about it when we talk about Mando. But yeah, just I people want Jedi. I mean, it's perfect. I mean, we get Jedi with Tales of the Jedi. It's actually, the name lives up to it in my opinion.
You know what I love? Because I know like they've had comic books and stuff like that already, but it'd be really
Yeah.
cool to see between Order 66 and Rebels, Kanan. Like just show like what he was
Is that
doing
what you
when he was
want?
on the run. Like the moment
You
he ran
might.
away from the Bad Batch up until like Like maybe like whenever he like meets Hera or something. That'd be
Possible.
neat.
That who you
Um,
want? If you were to pick two, who is it, Brian? Is Kanan one of them? To pick two, they did with
because that's
Qui
just the
Gon and
thing. Because
Dooku.
like I'm just trying to predict like how far that they would be willing to go, and
Just what you want, Brian. Don't use logic. Who do you want? What does your heart say?
I mean, it would be cool to see Kanan again. If that, like me, like ugh, maybe go into like you know, because Revan was a Jedi at one point.
It was.
And if they want to like start going back into the past, maybe just do a little sprinkling of the old Republic in there. Maybe, maybe
I mean, they technically canonized him with the release of Rise of Skywalker. Some of the troops were called Revan Squad, so
that's true.
he's it. He's here,
A lot of
whether we
the
wanted to or not.
a
Revan's
lot
here.
a lot of the old Republic Sith got canonized. That's true.
Mm-hmm. Is that
Um,
coming out? Shit, they've been quiet about that re-release. We'll talk about it later. Though.
oh, that thing's in fucking trouble.
Oh, it is.
uh, uh,
Damn.
yeah, they mentioned a delay on it, and then apparently the studio that was announced to be doing it apparently wasn't doing a great job, so they got pulled from the job and it's
Ooh.
moved to a different studio now. So that remake is kind of in trouble. Exactly.
uh, man. Oh well.
Yeah. Unfortunately. Uh let's see.
I mean,
I
I
guess
know for me. Oh, go ahead, Brian. I've been cutting you off here a lot because I'm too
no, no,
excited.
no.
Go ahead.
I just kind of want to mention because they did talk a little bit more about at the Acolyte a little
Oh
bit.
hell yeah.
Their High Republic Disney Plus series that's coming out. That's gonna be kind of interesting. The What's very interesting about this show because they still have they started announcing more of like the people that are going to be in it and kind of
Mhm.
roughly what the um not the story but just kind of like the setting of what the show is going to be because we know that there's going to be like a some like secret Sith that are being trained and like there's also they're gonna be highlighting a little bit of the High Republic era a little bit.
Yeah.
But the cool thing that they were talking about is that the martial arts combat that they're implementing in this show because they are doing kind of this stuff along the lines of like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon style of
Hell yeah.
combat for the show, which is going to be very interesting because I'm not so much in the know about the High Republic. So if if this makes like a cool like style for like this era, like to set it apart from the rest, that'd be kind of cool. Because the prequel series like had their own style of combat, and to kind
Mhm.
of see that like evolution, or I guess in this case the de-evolution of lightsaber combat throughout the years.
Yeah.
um so that's interesting. They also announced that we are getting a Wookiee Jedi
Hell yeah.
thrown into the mix. Let's see. So the Wookiee Jedi will be named Kel Naka and will be played by the current Chewbacca actor Yuna Tsutomu. So we are getting
Man.
yeah, dude. Like I've seen so many like interviews with Jonas, and he just seems like such like the nicest dude. Like he
Yeah.
he he came in, as like the understudy for Peter Mayhew, like in the sequel trilogy, and you know, with the unfortunate passing of Peter Mayhew, he is now like the official like Chewbacca like Wookiee actor for Star Wars. And he just seems like the most humblest, nicest guy in the world. And so it's cool that he's kind of being able to jump out of like the Chewbacca and like get to be like a fucking like he gets to be a Jedi, but like a Wookiee
Yeah.
Jedi, you know. So
Hell yeah.
so that's good for him. I was happy about that. Um
I'm
but
just
yeah,
hyped for that cast in general. It's has some very big players, and I again like it'll be our first like High Republic show. We don't have that yet, so that it's so much new territory. It's gonna be dope.
yeah. And
Oh,
I think it's kind of overdue because like the High Republic has had a bunch of books and a bunch of comics like out,
hmm
and I know there's a like a good fan base that really loves the High Republic, and like I want to try to get into it, but it's always hard because I don't know like where I should start. So having like a good base of like having like a show to like plant your feet down a little bit will be really nice. Um, I think they did say that this is going to be kind of like on the tail end of the High Republic, so this is kind of like going to be kind of bleeding into the prequel series, the prequel trilogy, I should say. Um, so that'd be cool. Did you had something you wanted to mention?
just Andor season 2 next year. That's it. I'm
Oh
hyped. That's
yeah,
it. They said
yeah.
it's coming next year. Fucking gonna see so much go down. Oh my god. Oh, that show is woo. I love that show.
Like
So good.
they knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
Just like
And
having something
I
so different.
I know, and just the cast is so killer, and I'm just really curious to see what they do with Stellan Skarsgård's character. He fucking stole the show for me, and that monologue he has for that one episode with about the sunrise. Oh my god, I was just blown away. And of course, his ship is sick, and you know,
Oh
of
yeah,
course, Schmiegel was there, so that was pretty
dude.
good. Just overall,
Andy
oh,
Serkis got so much praise at Celebration. Like I
oh,
didn't
dude,
realize how much people love like that those prison episodes.
we're hella
Cause
good.
no, cause like you know everybody likes to have like their own like special like Star Wars like related chants, but like for um for Andy Serkis, people just started chanting "One way out, one way out,"
Yeah,
or like they just like ask him to like yell "Get on program" and stuff like
yeah.
that. And it's like
Oh, program.
that's so cool. Like and that's like another like I don't want to say redemption, but like you know some people like didn't like how like Snoke was done in the sequel movies, and so having Andy Serkis like have like this other like opportunity to actually have like an actual face character and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
have it like be like a home run like it has been is so cool to see.
Good.
I kind of hope that somehow his character comes back. I don't know how, but
Yeah, he does come back in movie 8 of 9. He comes
oh,
back with a vengeance. Oh,
oh
I guess we see
no.
him in 7 too.
Oh
But
no.
General, they let me die.
I
Turns
couldn't
his
swim.
lightsaber.
There was no one way out for me.
There is one way. This way of the Sith.
The way of the First Order.
Oh, God.
Oh man.
And a little more about we heard a little more about Skeleton Crew. So that's actually happening. Like it's going, it's happening. But I before it
Oh
sounded like it
yeah. I
was
mean when
up and down. It's for sure it's coming now for sure.
I
I
mean
didn't
when
realize it was connected to the Mandoverse, I guess you'd say. You said earlier. I didn't realize it was connecting to that.
yeah, it's in the same time frame. But I mean, come on, like when you hire somebody like Jude Law, like that show is being made. You don't cancel
They
a
get their
Jude Law
money's worth.
show.
Jude Law.
Um, but yeah, I I'm still kind of interested to see like what they're gonna do with this because I know
Right?
it's roughly like these kids kind of get displaced and Jude Law is kind of like the guy that's gonna be like their mentor, I guess maybe. So
Yeah.
that's a thing. So to go along with that, there's not a lot of news about this, but Disney and Lucasfilm say that the Lando Disney
Oh
Plus show is
yeah.
still happening. Don't worry. There's no information about it, but it is still
Yeah,
happening.
right. How much money are they giving Childish Gambino? How much money to tie him down for Lando?
Fuck it, make him a producer.
Ooh, that'd be a good move. Atlanta is over, and that was spectacular. But could do some great stuff with Lando. He's got the vision, and his brother.
I think it would be good, especially since like I feel like they have to do something from like the Solo movie
Yeah,
because I feel like it got a raw deal just because of like its time frame that came out after like the Last Jedi. But like Solo
yeah,
was like really good, like a really decent movie, and so to kind of just like leave it alone is really serving it like a like an unjust like
yeah.
treatment. So I really do hope that they get this Lando show working out pretty well.
Me too. I would love to
Uh,
see that chapter closed. I'd love to see it.
yeah, or at least like expanded upon.
Yeah.
Uh, okay. Other than that, they just talked about more about Jedi Survivor
Hell yeah.
and just kind of like how they are just kind of expanding upon what Fallen Order did. The combat is going to be getting a little bit more of a polish and kind of upgrade. They did confirm that we are not going to be losing any of the powers that we got
Yeah,
in
that's exciting.
Fallen Order. They're just adding on to them as well. They actually the creative director from Respawn actually mentioned how for Jedi Survivor you're going to be able to dual wield lightsabers and have like dual wield combat. Apparently, that was a feature that they couldn't get onto Fallen Order because they wanted to do it for Fallen Order, and they only got as far as like what we got with like the double bladed lightsaber.
Yeah.
And so they said now that they've been able to upgrade, it's a new generation, like they're using like new technology, they're able to actually go in and work on, the combat suite. So we're gonna get a lot of
Mhm.
cool new powers. Customization is getting like a big update
Oh
compared to
yeah,
before.
that beard. That beard.
It was funny because the the guy who plays Cal Kestis, um
Oh, Cameron Monaghan. I think is that his
Cameron
name?
Monaghan, um
Monahan.
he came out
Sorry,
wearing
Cameron.
one of the old ponchos from
I saw that clip. Yeah.
and he did this bit where he was like, all right, so tell me, are there ponchos in the game? It's like he kept bringing up ponchos all the goddamn time. um but they did confirm that there's going to be a big variety of customization options, and they said that as far as like outfit options, they're going to be piecemeal, so you're going to be able to mix and match
Nice.
customization option for Cal, um, which is cool because I know like the deluxe edition, you're going to be able to get cosmetic items for like Luke and Han, and I think Obi-Wan as well. So you're going to be able to get like themed stuff too. Um,
Cool.
and of course for BD1 and there's going to be more lightsaber customization compared to the last game. which is
Hell yeah.
always cool. So yeah, I'm fucking excited. Like I said, we are roughly no, we are literally under 2 weeks away. Or actually, no, we are
Hell,
exactly 2 weeks away from Jedi
hell yeah.
Survivor coming out. So that's gonna be fucking blast.
Hmm.
Now I'm gonna be locked in here playing that shit for hours.
Man, I have so many games in my play. I think I could just wait again. Fuck. I still gotta get through Ragnarok and Horizon
Or
and Shadow of Mordor. Fuck. Or yeah, or
or
I have Valhalla and I haven't even touched it. Got that shit for myself for my birthday. Just, Lightfall came. I didn't give a
and
shit.
the list keeps growing and growing and
Oh yeah, the
growing.
backlog. The backlog
Backlog.
must always grow.
But yeah, that's pretty much all of like the noteworthy news
And of course,
from
Indiana
Star Wars
Jones. But
Celebration. Yeah, Indiana Jones, which I will say the trailer they showed off for Indiana Jones at Celebration makes the movie look a way better than the other trailers did. Like this trailer actually made it look like it's going to be a fun time. So, I mean, it's Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford. Probably see it
punching
anyway.
Nazis. What more could we
Punching
ask for?
Nazis. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much a lot of the Star Wars Celebration news. They did
It was the
announce
meat.
that the next Star Wars Celebration is going to be in Japan
Yeah.
in 2025, I believe. So it's going to be overseas again. I don't know how doable that will be, but we will see.
Still gotta get packs. See if we can do that first. We gotta knock that out.
Oh,
Iron
for
that
sure.
out soon.
Oh, for sure. I mean, that's easy. That's easy. That's doable
Comparison. Yes,
in
very
comparison.
easy.
But yeah, Joel, what do you think? Are you excited for Star Wars?
Oh hell yeah, dude. Come on. It's us talking, man. I mean, Marcelo's not here tonight. I'm sure he would have varying opinions, but yeah, it's us, so very much in agreement. But yeah, if you have any disagreements or excitements or news we missed, comment below. Let us know. Send us a message. Send us an email. Don't send me an email saying fire Kathleen Kennedy because I am not going to agree with you. If you say it 3 times, I'll look at it. Maybe. But,
Yeah.
yeah. If you're excited, comment below. Let us know. Send us a message. Tweet at us.
Let us know. How many takes did we get wrong tonight?
All of them.
All of them.
Fire her.
But yeah. And of course, Joel, if people, besides, the comic section on YouTube or anywhere else on social media, where could people send those hot takes?
nerdcats at gmail.com. Send us an email. Let us know your hot takes for Star Wars, or if you didn't like our takes, let us know. We are always down to talk about it, bring it up in the episode. Am I right, Brian?
Yes. Of course. Of course. For those of you that are not watching us live at twitch.tv/UnitedWeNerd, where you could join us in the chat and have conversations with us throughout the podcast live recording. You could watch or listen to us on demand on podcast services wherever you listen to your podcasts, and youtube.com/@UnitedWeNerd as well.
Mm-hmm.
And
Also on the Zuckerverse, and I just want to throw that out there on Facebook.
And don't forget Twitter.
TikTok. Sorry, on TikTok.
And Instagram.
Twitter.
Don't forget the gram.
Before they die. Yeah. Before Elon Musk buys them and doesn't know what the fuck to do them. But that's where you can find us.
Before all the social media burns to the ground, that's where we'll be.
Yeah. We go back to pen and paper and pigeon.
Fuck it. Oh no. Well, before we kind of go back in retrograde in technology, Joel, where can people find you?
Mad Mech Monster Mind on TikTok, Spotify, SoundCloud, also Acoustic Avenger on Twitter and on Twitch as well. I'm probably going to change those handles soon just to something more concise. I keep floating it. Yep, that's where you can find me. Music and video, Destiny videos. Put a lot of Destiny stuff on TikTok. Brian, where can they find you?
Well, of course, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Brian_Saber. Um, I do also have a TikTok as well at Brian Saber, and on Twitch, on Twitch, twitch.tv/Brian Saber as well. But yeah,
Nice.
had a lot of Star Wars news to go over. Thanks
Yeah.
everybody for, listening in, hanging out. We appreciate it as always. We will be back next week for some more nerdy ass conversations. But until the next time, always remember to keep on nerding.
Boner. That's how many TIE fighters I shot down. It shows 3. Jacket. The jacket from Disneyland.
Oh,
Three TIE fighters that I personally shot down.
your target computer's off. What's
Corsair.
wrong?
There is no targeting. I just jumped from the ship onto the TIE fighter and in the cockpit, started punching the pilot. That's it. That's what happened.